Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are around the world. Thank you for joining me this afternoon for what I consider to be one of my uh, special sessions. Uh, I always like to have a crazy time sometimes, once in a while, to break the routine a little bit. But more important if that routine is a productive way. If what we are doing is crazy in a productive way, then it's going to be fun and we're going to all enjoy it. Let me find Rima to make sure I mark her in. So when she is ready to sing, Rima, I granted you the mic and video if you feel comfortable with both. But don't turn them on now until you are ready. Can you hear me, Rima?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. Now this is Rima. She's gonna be my assistant for today. And but anyways, let's enjoy the show and get started. And you will get to the points where you're gonna sing it. And let's see how you're gonna about it. So you spare me the embarrassment not having a good voice for it. Anyway, let's get the presentation. Now this most of you knows me. Who doesn't? I'm Abid Baidis, the group chairman and CEO of Identity Branding Forum. Been the architect of a number of programs designed around the world, and I just enjoy talking to people, and I love people. I have passion for to listen, to hear what everybody has to say, and especially students, because when I'm talking to students, I'm actually talking to my future. This is why I pride myself to do this more often, because whenever I'm away from you guys, I miss you. So I have to come up with a crazy idea, crazy topic in order to generate that relationship. Who we are, we've been over 24 years creating amazing things around the world as Identity Branding Forum. This is our website. But what we have done is focusing on everything that actually helped humanity to thrive. Call us compassionate, with empathy, to help people around the world think different, and become unique, especially when we're dealing with students. And this particular program is being a presentation of Talents of Endearment Career Labs. Our aim basically is to create a new mindset, a new change that will encourage people around the world to think differently and create their own ecosystems with an antivirus to make sure that they don't get that interferences in their life and their thinking. And we're doing this in a number of subjects, number of topics that we started a year ago, and we're continuing with it increasingly so as we're going progressively through this year. Now, let's talk about image is about who you are really. Now, this is a picture. This is what you look like. Now, there's something else called perception. Perception is how people perceives you or how you perceive yourself. Okay? I'm physically built small, but I see myself to be a great person. And perception also is associated with how you would like to be perceived or you perceive yourself, how you would like to see yourself in the future. So mankind, humanity from Adam to this day, we always like to imagine. We've always been in fantasy with a world that doesn't exist to escape to run to. That's why over the years, historically, there was something called, who didn't hear the say, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the first one of all? Rima, where did you hear that at? Since you have the
Okay.
mic. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the first one of all? This is part of the movies that you grew up with as a child, right?
Yeah. Yes.
What is it that the Snow White?
Snow White. Yes. Yes. Snow White.
Okay, Snow White. It's been a long time for me. So to remember if I missed anything. But anyways, so the reason why this queen, which she sees herself ugly, but she wants to be seen, to feel that she is the best, she is the first. She didn't say the beautiful, the most beautiful, but she wants to say who is the first one of all. So there is a perception that she wanted to believe in herself that is different from the facts that that person is. So that's when it all started with. And here's the part that Rima is going to help me with. Rima, your
Yes.
turn. Mirrors on the ceiling, the pink champagne on ice, and she said, "We are all just prisoners here of our own device. And in the master's chambers, they gathered for the feast. They stab it with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast." Now you go.
I'm sorry, I cannot see the screen, the slideshow. I'm
Let's
so
see the
sorry.
screen.
No, I sent you a message.
Refresh your page. Can anybody? Does anybody doesn't see the screen? Refresh your page, please.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Okay, refresh your page. It doesn't.
No,
Everybody else is seeing it.
I think I have something wrong. I'm sorry.
That's okay. But you see, the story here of this song, Hotel California, is people created their own device to escape reality, to keep thinking to live the world that they want to live on their own and live that fantasy. So in that chambers that they created, okay, they started seeing the machine that they live to enjoy and the dreams that they live to enjoy. Now it's actually tearing them apart. So what was seemingly beautiful, perceived to be beautiful, is now being a threat. What's seen as a threat. So what they try to do here in the rest of the song, last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find the passage back to the place I was before. "Relax," said the nightman. "We are programmed to receive. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave." So basically, they became addicted to the world of fantasy that now they cannot escape it. They kept living in it and they cannot leave. It's just like an addicted person. You tell them that you are addicted to alcohol, to drugs, to whatever it is. Can you see this now, Rima?
Yes, yes.
Okay, try this one here. I want to hear it your voice. This part. Last thing I remember.
Um,
Come on.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. But what it's basically is people are trying to escape the
Okay,
reality.
now I see it.
Now you see it? You want to try it?
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
sure. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all?
No, that's the old one. Look,
That's
are you
the
seeing the
old
one
one.
number 7? Last thing I remember.
Number 7. Uh, I have
Number
number
7.
6. Number 6.
7.
7? I don't see 7.
Okay, never mind. So basically, what they wanted to do, basically, people wanted to escape the reality the fantasy that they created for themselves, because now they know they are captured in it. They know they cannot leave because they want to, even though they know they can check out anytime they like, but they cannot leave because they are addicted to that lifestyle, addicted to that reality. Now, I want to share with you this little video. Rima, that's okay. Thank you so much, dear.
Thank you. Sorry. It
That's
seems the
okay.
internet in Beirut.
That's okay. Thank you so much. But stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, sure.
Now, I want to share this video.
Sarah thought she met the perfect man.
No, it was a cute photo of us. Let me tag you.
But what she got
Oh, not on Facebook.
was the perfect nightmare.
What?
Yeah, no, I'm not on any social media.
Oh, this can't be happening.
Oh, not on Facebook.
Can't find him anywhere.
Yeah, no, I'm not on any social
How am I
media.
supposed to find pictures of his ex?
So Snapchat, WhatsApp, Facebook, he's not on anything?
Well, I don't. What? How does he send you a dick pic?
He doesn't. I've only ever seen his dick. In person.
Oh my god.
I don't know what to do. Oh, I took a great picture of my boobs earlier. And I had no one to send it to.
It's gonna be okay.
Is it? Is it?
They don't know what he did last summer because it's not on Facebook.
He is untraceable. He's completely off the grid. A ghost, if you will. He's not on Insta, LinkedIn, or Pinterest. And if you think he's on SnapMap, you're crazy.
I mean, the man has no digital footprint. He's never even had a MySpace.
Who is he?
I don't know.
Oh, not on Facebook.
What?
Yeah, no, I'm not on any social media.
You know when you like have an opinion on something, how do you voice it?
I'm not supposed to just tell it to the nearest person.
What is this?
I think it's an actual photo album.
Where's the comments section? How does he know if people like them? Oh my god, none of the photos have filters on them. Oh!
Get out of there, Sarah. Get out of there now.
Smell the coffee, Sarah. Clearly, he is catfishing you.
No!
In reverse.
Christ, Sarah, do you even know what he had for lunch today?
No! Never gonna know. Unless I ask him.
Think about it. If you can't tag him, does he even exist?
Hi, guys.
Okay, yeah, he exists.
Yeah, he's there.
Anti-social. Coming soon to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest, Vimeo, YouTube, MySpace, Bebo, LinkedIn, Foursquare, Flickr, Periscope, WhatsApp, Tumblr, Viber, Reddit, LiveLeak, and even Google+.
So what happens here, there is two realities clashes. One, ground reality, the guy who is not living the virtual world, and the virtual reality, the world that this girl is living in. So it became a complete shock, complete cultural shock. One looked mysterious to the others, while the other is just being normal, being themselves. But now then, what is you is a mystery if you are not in the virtual world. So one person is captured in ground reality and the other one is captured in the virtual world. How could the two come together? So that's where the opportunities comes in for you, whether you're a student or you're a professional, comes in. Now, there is a virtual reality. I want you to this moment here to put on your virtual reality headset. Everybody knows what's a virtual reality headset. Okay? And I wanted to visualize the minute you put that VR headset on your eyes, you transmit it to a whole different world. Your mind is registering what the eyes is looking at. You start seeing stairs. If your foot started moving funny, trying to catch up, even though you are not there, but you feel you are there because your mind is registering. It's telling you are there. Your eyes are seeing it, but you're not there. So you start moving your legs funny, moving your hands funny, because now you're trying to grab into something as you are floating down the tunnels and shooting up to the stairways, seeing waterfalls, beautiful birds, animals, sceneries, woods, things that are totally different from the real world that you are living in. So now that virtual reality captivated you, created a world that you always dreamed about. So now you have a tool that helps you become anything you want to be without having to leave your body, just letting your mind escape, letting your mind go. So what that reality is, it comes start creating crazy world, crazy stories that you can you start feeling around, and that's what's called the sacred hill. I'm sorry, because at the moment you've been transported through the VR headset to the virtual world, to the virtual reality. Now you are living completely on the top of your dreams. You're living the dreams you always hoped for, but you're not really there, but you're just imagining them. You are seeing them. It being captured, that moment being registered by your mind through what is seen through that headset. This brings me back to the situation where I miss being a kid. Why do I miss being a kid? Because when we were kids, we were allowed the opportunity to be crazy, to think crazy. We used to create the stories, fiction, being swallowed by the snake, going through the snake. I had those thoughts, crazy thoughts, going up there and then fighting it and cutting it apart and then leaving out. Now, though, what it was at one point of time, kids' crazy world, as being seen by the parents, is now real world. Look what is going on right now with television. Look what is going on today with the fantasy technology is creating for us, the games that is being created for us, for somebody is making a lots of money of it. Now, when we became adult, we lost all of that. When an adult, we're not allowed to think crazy. Who said so? You see, you cannot move forward unless you break the routine. You see, most of the things that we live today is what we used to think at some point of time to be crazy. Think about the torn up jeans. Years ago, we wouldn't accept ourselves if the jeans were torn up by the legs, by your foot, or just a scrap, you throw it away. Today, you pay fortunes for it, for a torn up jeans or torn up shirts or whatever. So what you need to start thinking about is when you to become a game changer isn't about what is happening today, but it is what could happen tomorrow, the future. So what you really need to do is start to see the future, what you can be. You need to create your own real virtual world and start imagining what you would like to be, and then start looking at how to make it happen. Let's look at some of the opportunities. Okay, today we have been transformed by COVID-19 to a new world, a new reality. Actually, COVID-19 didn't really disrupt our life. It actually accelerated the disruption of our life because the disruption was already there. The problem wasn't there. The problem that wasn't there, our level of readiness to accept it. Think of e-learning. Years ago, it was impossible for the university educators to accept it, to say students want college, to be in class. Today, students are studying at home either through their watches or through their smartphones. So what's needed, so COVID-19 actually pushed us to the edge of chaos to discover a new spontaneous order, things we were not ready for. But we were actually prepared for it with some technologies that's out there. Okay. Now let's see what some of those opportunities looks like. We are today contactless, right? Not allowed to touch, not allowed to shake hands. Officeless, work from home. Borderless, which means today I'm talking to in Dubai, and Rima is in Lebanon. Somebody is in India. Somebody is in Croatia. Somebody is in China or in Saudi Arabia. Educationless, e-learning. So it feels like today we went back 100 years to where schools were at home. Okay, there were no schools. moneyless. Now we are being encouraged to transact with credit cards, touch, contactless credit cards, everything else paperless. So we don't even soon enough we're gonna forget what some paper feels like. Socialless, okay. This is the less this what I call them, because right now we are not supposed to be gathering. We travel. We cannot travel. We have to be limited to the malls. Loveless because we cannot be romantic. We cannot go to places that we think we want to do. Emotionless because we cannot enjoy the emotions being around the people we care for. So what is happening today is something socially we were not ready for. We would not accept because we are not used to it. Now we are being forced to it. Now we are forced to accept it. That's where comes the opportunities. Now, think of your new business model. Think of your new career model. Is anything you are doing at the less? How are you going to counter it? How are you going to make up the difference for what the people have and they don't have again? So, what is the difference between a warrior and a fighter? Now, in college or in business, we are all trained to be fighters. Okay, fighters means I can get into a ring, box because that's what I learned. Indoor or outdoor, this is what I trained for. So we are trained. Our mindset is set to be a fighter in a certain limitation, certain borders, and that's what I call being normal. Okay, fighter is normal. Being trained for a set task, for a certain task that you cannot break away from because and you know all the things that you can do. But today, as a fighter, you can get into this boxing ring with a robot, okay? Because your competition is being your competition is being automated. Now, what you really need to think, jump ahead of the game to start thinking as a warrior, because warriors, are exceptional. They don't think in terms of the uh, what is being done. Warriors are they create terrains, they create battlefields, they create to conquer because that's the world that actually grabs them and takes them out of normal. That's why they become leaders. That's why they became passionate about what they do because they have a beyond mission than the normal task of a fighter that is accustomed to. So now they are focused on how to change things. Warriors are game changers, while fighters are part of the game that they're playing. So what we really need to start thinking about, putting up those virtual reality headsets, is how do I become a game changer? What kind of things that I needed to do? Let's look at further in terms of to become a game changer, you really need to come up with the craziest idea that you wish to make it happen. Friend of mine, he's a consultant to the major fashion houses around the world, like the Dolce Gabbanas and the like. He's actually was behind the torn up jeans, and he's a friend of mine. And what he tells me is something that is amazing. Whenever they want to come up with a new crazy idea for fashion, what they do is they go ask kids, how do you like to see mom and dad dressed? Or they go to bullies, people mad at society. How would you like to see rich people dressed? Poor people, asking poor people, how would you like to see rich people dressed? That's why rich people now dress like poor people. Because the idea didn't come from a fashion designer sitting because I like this on them. They went out to the extreme side of the society, asking them, how do you like the other extreme to live, dress, and live? Think about it. So whenever you want to think about your next crazy idea, if you don't have it, find it with people who are completely against society, who would like to see changes to change their life, to live a little bit better than what they are living today. Now, what to do that basically is the way for your idea to become desirable. Okay. Now, this is the next thing that you really need to start. How can I make it desirable for everybody to want it? Now, think of the torn up jeans. To be desirable, it carried the name brand of Dolce Gabbana, for example. It created it created an environment. It was embedded in an ecosystem that encouraged others to want to subscribe to it. So what you really need to start thinking in your life to change, whether you're a student or a professional, is how do I make that idea desirable no matter how crazy it is? Don't limit yourself because you think it's crazy, nobody wants it. I can give you an abundance of examples to tell you that you are wrong, to show you you are wrong. And there are abundance out there. But how could you become desirable? Is a plan. It's in a way of how you communicate it, how you package it, who you're going to be working with, who you are collaborating to get that crazy idea, to get that skills, the depth, to get that breadth, society, partnering with the companies, professionals, educators, students, the likes. You don't need money to make good things happen. All what you really need to do is think smart but intelligent, because when you want to be intelligent, that's when you want to learn how to build something, design it. But when you want to be smart is how to go out, reach out for the ideas and how to really talk people to open up to you, to start telling you what they think, how they feel. And that comes up with a talent. Let's see this video for a moment. And please, guys, if you cannot hear or see well, just refresh your page. And by the end of this session, when it's over, and for everybody that's completing the session, there will be a certificate of participation. Thank you. But let's see this video.
I always like to come out here and I like to talk about how much we have in common more than we are different. And it doesn't matter what your politics are, it doesn't matter your race or religion. Here at the Ellen Show, we all come together as one, except for the people in the riff-raff room. They're separate. But they're happy. They just didn't get tickets in time. They're happy. But there are still things that divide us, and today I want to talk about the biggest controversy since this dress. Do you remember this? All right, now, I personally see a gold and white dress. How many people see a gold and white? Okay. All right. How many people say a blue and white dress? Just screaming doesn't make more of you. Just an arm up helps. All right. How many of you have heard of this Laurel and Yanny thing? Okay? All right. Not the comedy duo. They stopped touring years ago. The old Yanny and Laurel. All right. I'm talking about the viral sound that is tearing the nation apart. Listen carefully to this, and then you're going to tell me if you hear Laurel or Yanny.
Laurel. 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 Laurel.
Okay. How many people hear Laurel? How many people hear Yanny? Again, yelling does not make more of you. You still are not as many people as the correct people, which are Laurel. It is Laurel. It's Laurel. Now, Laurel. It's so easy. It's Laurel. So more of you hear Laurel. The people who hear Yanny, I'm going to have to ask you to leave because it's crazy, though, isn't it? I mean, we can hear the exact same thing and then hear something completely different. How many of you have husbands and you tell them to take the trash out and put the dishes away and they hear, have a beer and take a nap? Totally same thing, and yet they hear it. So this morning I heard something that blew my mind even more. Okay, I'm going to play a clip. Listen carefully to this. All right, now I'm going to play a different clip.
The juice of lemons makes fine punch.
Now I'm going to play the first clip you heard. It's like a horror movie, isn't it? Clearly you could hear the juice. The juice of lemons, right? Makes fine punch. At first you just hear static, but then the brain knows what to listen for, and then you hear it. Apparently it comes down to pitch and the power of suggestion, and I think that's a good lesson to remember because, you know, there are times that we're going to disagree, and it doesn't matter who's right and who's wrong, and what makes you better is really listening to somebody else as long as they hear Laurel. I'm going to randomly point to someone right now and see if they agree with me. Sir in the black t-shirt right there. What do you hear? I hear Laurel. Laurel, and you're correct, and that means you're our dancer of the day. See, I bet someone who heard Yanni couldn't dance like that. That's...
Does anybody have an answer why it is Laurel, not Yanni? In the chat box, could you write why? How did that happen? It's the way it's played. It's the way it sounded, but it's also the way the message wants to be perceived. Especially in the second play, when talking about the juice and the way the distraction was happening in there, you didn't hear it well. So people are about what they would like to hear, what they would like to perceive or to be perceived as such. So it doesn't matter what you think. What it matters is how people want to see it. For example, men don't like to talk because by nature they are hunters. When they go hunting, they sit quiet, waiting for the prey to come in. How many of you agree with me on this or disagree? Could you write in the chat box? Men don't like to talk. True or false? Come on, guys. Share with me. Okay, not all agree true. The nods both. Okay. Come on. I know more of you can give me an answer. As per occasions. Okay. Now, here is something else of interest about men. Men don't care about what's on TV. They only care what else is on TV. Okay. Men are more confused on a social level. Whenever my wife asks me for what do I want for lunch or dinner, I say whatever you want. She says, what's on your mind? I says, don't ask me because I will confuse you. Whenever we go out to dinner, I get confused where to go. So her and I we keep arguing, and at the end of the day, we just let whatever the last choice to be made for others. But this is critical about understanding men. Now imagine here it becomes trickier. If you're talking to a 20 years old man or a 60 years old man, now you have two levels, two different extremes of interest, right? The trick here is you need to figure out whatever you want to be unique with, you want to be crazy at, you really need to figure out to who's your targeted audience in order to make sure that you are not being misunderstood at all, to make it to get that message across. So, and here's a tricky question to ask. Now the new norm isn't what right answers to get, it is what right questions to ask. And if you ask yourself, what men don't talk about? Weird, right? Because if you create a tool, an opportunity to bring out their hidden secrets, you have captured yourself a gold mine. Okay? But the reverse side of it, it says what men don't talk about, you could have says, what do men talk about? I don't care about what you know. What I care about is what you don't know. Okay, what they are refusing to talk about, because that's a fat, that's a meat. Okay, what they don't talk about is heavy. If you capture that, you have captured 90% of the world's wealth. That's being kept secrets for the best of those world leaderships. Here is another challenge to you. Women like to talk, right? Historically, in the cave age, they used to talk to create noise to protect kids at home. Okay, because when you have noise, uh, predators or enemies, they would think there is a lot of people here, walk away maybe for another time to come back. Who would agree with this statement? Women like to talk. True or false? Come on, guys. Back to chat. Okay. Now we have anonymous agreement. Thank you, Maria. Very true. But not all. All right. I don't. Well, there's always an exception, but generally speaking, they do like to talk because it's their nature. I mean, here's why they like to talk. Okay, women. What do women like to talk about with men? Now, why did I have that question here? Could anybody ask? Could anybody answer? Why did I choose that statement? They talk about food. Okay. Now, I want you to think total strange man in a restaurant approach to talk to you. What would women would talk about? Think about it. I mean, great. The menu, for example, the weather, perhaps, how expensive things are, the place, the right shopping malls, for example, uh, strangers in town, visitors, the environments. The reason why, because okay, men dreams, hobbies, and about themselves. That's true. Men pragmatic. They like to brag. I got this, and I have got that, and I can do this, and I have been there. I've been there and there and there and around. And men are pragmatic. They like to brag about themselves. Women are emotional. That's why they are better team builders, because women much better to build teams, to bring things, to bring people together, because they feel safe in that ecosystem, in that environment. While men, they like to work on their own. Women are not. That's why best of leaders today of major companies are women. They are team builders. They're team players. While men are solo. Okay, and they think they know it all. They think they are the master of all things. And I can consider myself very lenient, agile, flexible, and I get hit with sometimes with a lot of men's mentality that you would think they're smart, but actually I wouldn't even know how to describe them. So now what you really need to do is to start defining. Now, do women think about it? If it's a woman that is 20, 30 years old, or a woman that is 50, 60 years old. Okay. Now, what you need to age group them. Okay. So you start seeing the way people think, not the way you think that matters. It's the way they think. To each of their groups, think. For example, I want to target. I have a fashion model design that I want to target teenagers, professional women, or moms or grandmas, older ages. What do I target? So the language really is important, how you communicate, and this is what it means. Now, this is when I started earlier to become desirable for people to want you, you have to have something that they don't have, they want. Okay? So, and I like this statement of Steve Harvey when he says, they don't come to you just to talk to you. That's about men. They come to you because they want what you have. They don't have. So what you really need to do is, and what you don't have, what you have, they don't have, is something you thought of in your virtual world that now you created, that you made that crazy idea comes to reality. Now they want to have it. Okay, that same designer, a friend of mine, he was working on a craziest thing you could never imagine. Nobody could even fathom this. He was working for a fashion house in Japan for designing thongs, lingeries, sexy lingeries for men in England and Europe. You couldn't even think of it. This is crazy. What man would want it? Believe it or not, this became a big hit in Europe. Millions were sold of them to men, rich men, and I'm talking about. So what you might think is crazy, don't let that stop you. If you think it's crazy, go after it. Whatever idea that comes up to you, go after it. Phantom it. Let your dreams grow. Don't hold them up and dream big. Because wear that, if you cannot, wear that virtual headset and let it grow with you, and you can see yourself growing very, very fast. Now I want to ask you a couple of questions to share with me here some of your thoughts. Now I want to hear. Let's see here. How confident are you about your career? Please do participate because that helps me here a little bit in the rest of the conversation. 50-50 so far. Come on, guys. Okay. Oh, I see 3 stars, 40%, 4 stars, 30%, 20%, 5 stars. Come on, guys, participate, please. This is important. Got a few 1 star. I guess you guys are not dreaming enough. What you really need to start thinking about is your crazy ideas. If you cannot, if you don't know how, if you don't know how to make it happen, come to me and I will talk. I will help you, because that's my job here. So what you really need to do is start really focusing on how to transform from where you are hopeless to being hopeful. And this is really easy. All what you really need to do is start thinking of something, the people around you. The biggest problem that we're having today, why we are not confident about our career, is because we are pursuing the same thing robots are pursuing today. Okay? Now, let's ask another question. What is getting on your way to success? Please participate. In 1 or 2 words to make it simple for you. What do you think is getting on your way to success? To be in your way to success. Now, any takers? Okay. Tough question for somebody to answer. Rules and bureaucracy, lack of time. Okay, true. Any other comments? Hardworking. Exactly. More craziness, overthinking. Overthinking is bad. Okay, because if you want something to fail, give it to an engineer. They will keep it in the lab to make it as perfect as possible. Give it to a monkey, they will do a much better job. Okay, well, so what we really need to do is don't overthink something. There is a saying in the United States: don't think it to death, because as much as you think, you will kill it. But here's something more interesting. Okay, now most of you knows probably what it is. This is the T model, the first Ford car that ever produced. And here's a popular say of Henry Ford: the customer can have a car painted any color he wants as long as it is black. God, that's a brilliant statement. First of all, why did Henry Ford say that? Because the only color he could produce on his production line is black colors. He doesn't have any other colors in his cars. So what he wanted to do is to see his sales teams, his marketing being genius to convince customers you can have any color you want as long as it is black. But how did they do it? Okay, how what they went on, imagine yourself, this became tradition in car sales, especially used car sales. Imagine this bold fat guy walks into these showrooms looking at those one of those cars. What does the salesman do back then? Hello, sir, you're looking great today. Boy, you look so handsome. Boy, do I love that smile on your face. Look at those dimples. I want you just to sit in this car. Please try it. And the guy sits in that car. And then the guy, the brilliant, the smart, slick salesman, what do you start saying? Boy, you look so awesome in this vehicle. I just can't imagine the number of girls gonna be chasing you on the streets driving in that car. I just can't imagine all of you, how much your wife is gonna love you for getting her that car. I just can't imagine that your jealous friends. Oh, forget it, they're gonna hate you because they can see you how great you look in that car. Now take it a woman getting into that car. Please, ma'am, sit in that car. I love you, the color of your dress. Oh, look how nice that dress looks in this car. Oh, look how sexy you look in that car. Oh, look how your girlfriend's gonna be jealous. Yeah, but that's it. I mean, your husband they're gonna let you leave in the house because you're gonna look so good in this car that you cannot leave. I was never been a car salesman at all. I was never been a salesman at all to anything. But what I am saying, imagine now that person is being transported to desire the salesman that made them desire that product, that idea, that black car. So what you really need to do, transfer the customer that you are targeting to the virtual world, create it for them, even though it's not real. Years ago, we had training workshop called Building Brand Value. And a marketing director of one major dealer in the region was participating with us. And I asked her, all what you have is cars to sell and spare parts. And all what you have is showrooms that sells cars and spare parts. She says, yes. I said, I want you for a minute to start thinking. You had a crazy idea at night, woke up in the morning, went to your showrooms, gathered your salespeople and marketing teams, and told them, yes, all what we have is cars and spare parts to sell, but from this day on, we are not going to sell cars and spare parts. what would you be selling them? She was bold, and she said, I will be selling them crazy bed to to a mental hospital. What would I be selling? I said, think about it. Sell the customer their peace of mind on the road. That actually, that idea became a new business, the revenue stream for that company. Because what makes you different than anybody else is something that somebody else is not offering. Okay, so basically, what they want to do is be somebody else's copy, but don't. All what you need to do is create that feel, people to feel different, to like, to desire the idea that nobody else is offering them. So what you need to do is start with your heart, not your mind, because the mind registers things. Mind doesn't think; it only processes information stored at from earlier events. Okay, so whenever you try to listen to the stored events in your mind, you're gonna always be locked into the past. So you will never be transferred to the future. So what you really need to do, close it, stop it, strike it. You're not allowed to think. My heart is gonna think. So what you really need to do here is start to transform yourself, transform your mind to an artificial intelligence machine, not just to control you with the previous events, because the more you're controlled to the previous events, and I can hear some of the comments in there. I'm locked in. You're locked in because you are locked. You're locking yourself into the old register, to the old processor, to the information stored in the mind that keeps capturing you. But you need to let go of that. Start seeing ahead. Close your eyes. Get that virtual reality headset. Only then you can start seeing transformation. And what happens then? You start feeling people through your heart. That crazy emotion, and people start feeling you through your heart. And that's a beauty when you start actually thinking of how to make them laugh. Remember the salesman telling the bald guy, fat bald guy, you look so handsome, you look so great. Was I talking to him through my mind or through the heart? Was I talking to his mind or to his heart? I was talking to his emotions. That's why in branding we say hearts, then minds. Because people, if you start talking to tap into people's minds, you lock them away, they walk away. When you start talking to their heart, you capture them. That's the only time you're going to be winning your competition. That's the only time you're going to be able to prevail over artificial intelligence and robots. And machines cannot win you at that moment of time in your career. So what you really need to do is start transforming yourself, talk to people's heart, makes people feel great. And in branding, we say good brands make people feel good about you. Great brands make people feel great about themselves. So what you really need to start to becoming desirable. Your idea is to become desirable. You need to start thinking of how to make people feel great about themselves. Change their life to be a game changer. That's the only way you're gonna start moving forward in your career. Now there's another rhyme from a song. You've got the looks, I've got the brain. Let's make lots of money. Now this is important. Okay, why this is important? Means collaboration. Who you're gonna collaborate with to make your dream come true, to make everything that you're imagining and planning happens. It is not about your good friends that you can trust. They're good. Good buddies are good for fun times. Okay, and they're out there to share your happiness and sadness. But there is another breed of friends that is going to help you succeed. There's a famous say, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Okay? And this is true. If you are associated with people that are always bombarding you to move forward, come up with the crazy ideas, create context for your crazy ideas, help you move forward. These are the buddies that you want to. That's going to help you make that money. You have two choices in life: either be famous on social media or make money being famous on social media. Okay, but I would rather be famous for helping people to change their life. Okay, and what is critical here is how to really pick and choose, filter the right people, and if you can, find them. And I'll tell you a good way to really start inspiring yourself. Okay, because you are only as big or as small as your dreams. Start going to Rolls Royce showrooms. Act like you are going to buy that car. Program yourself that I am gonna own that car in a year time. Don't limit yourself with your capabilities today because you don't have that money. Start getting yourself ready, your mind ready to accept the things that are crazy, not to block your way, to start moving away from the wrong people to the right people. And now you have something to look up to. Now you have something to really aspire in your life, to live that aspiration, to live that enjoyment. Go to work to expensive homes. Don't tell yourself I cannot afford to pay the rent for my apartment. How can I go to start looking at expensive homes? You are your own limitations. Don't go. Let yourself go to the things that really is gonna pick you up. Now this is my dream. This is me. And don't say I cannot do it. I don't need to go because I cannot afford it. You will never change your life. But when you start going in there, you start build. You're becoming a warrior. Now you start letting your mind go crazy, leaving all the things that are holding you back to the things that are able to bring you from back to front, to the forward, because that's how you're going to accelerate, not decelerate. And you really need to be careful in terms of who you choose. You don't need to. The minute when somebody tells me, "Oh, this is impossible, times are bad," what's bad is that person as a choice of friend. What I need, this is a great idea. Let's explore how we can make it happen. These are the kind of friends I want. I have been throughout my life with the crazy ideas, comes up and says, people, 2002, we came up with e-learning. And we built the largest system of e-learning in the world outside of the United States. When we came to the Arab world, people started creating, they're blocking us, presidents of universities, educators. Our students wants to have, this will never be the future. Students wants to have that life in campus. And they never believed that there will be the day that students, they will leave campus for smartwatches. I haven't got that far with a smartwatch, but we knew this is going to be happening. Okay, but people, so stop listening to the naysayers. Start in eliminating them out of your life in order to be transformed. Now we have few good things to come up, and I encourage you. This is the link, okay, and you will have that. You can see those links on your handouts, and meet the legend. This is one in a lifetime opportunity with Mike Salisbury. Mike Salisbury is the guy that created Michael Jackson, a lot of the movies, the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and behind a lot of magazines. When you look into that page and that link, it's in your handouts link. You will see a video trailer on him. Please register. Make sure that you invite all the people that you think would deserve to be there, all the people that you care about. To attend it, because this will never happen. It's going to be on 22nd of February at 8 o'clock p.m. UAE time frame, and this is a legend. This is a lifetime opportunities you will never have again. And he's also going to be one of the mentors in a program coming up on February the 25th, starting for 33 days, which is called Lead with Endearment Career Lab. Is exactly what we have been talking about in this session, is what we're going to be helping you to become, how to let go of the bad influences, how to live the crazy dream, and the dream and have the dream of your life, to enjoy it with you for 33 days. And this is the link for it, and it's also available on the handouts there. But the reason why you would really need to do that, it's for high school students and teachers, for college students and faculties, fresh graduates, and business and professionals. And we're doing that, we bring them all together to create an ecosystem to foster entrepreneurial opportunities for new crazy ideas. Because if it's not crazy, we don't accept it. Okay? And you are being mentored by me, the crazy instructor. I like to be called grandpa during those sessions, although I'm over 20 years old. But also Mike Salisbury and the likes. These are giants that is going to be helping you to master the future and really discover yourself, discover the things that you really can do, not the things that not to focus on the things you think you cannot do, and we will help you to break away from them in a period, because we transform you from being a normal to an exceptional. Students to us, whether you're a high school or college students or you're a professional, you're a student. I'm a student because I'm constantly learning and making an every effort in 33 days. This is a lot with a lifetime career support. So you will never be alone again in your life. And this is the one lifetime subscription that you will be getting, including a 5 years platform support to build and grow your very own career and community ecosystem with a certificate of award, with a lifetime community support. So you, whenever you need help, it's there. Professional help, community help from all over the world. And the platform is brand right now to accommodate 900,000 people from around the world, 12 universities and 4 countries. And we are growing by the day. And what we have done basically is supported this program to make it possible with mentors. They're all renowned people. I'm one of them. I'm one of Nike's experts, General Motors and Chrysler, Mike Salisbury. We also have universities presidents and vice presidents being your mentors as well. So we combine business professionalism and academic science in order to make sure that you have a complete comprehensive ecosystem to validate your ideas, not only at the end, just to make sure that it's viable, socially viable, economically, and viable skillfully. You have the technical skills for it, and if it's not, to provide you with those technical skills through that system, connected through that platform. And what we have done basically is created, like I mentioned, the lifetime support. Whenever you need help, wherever you are in the world, is online, and we actually subsidize this program for $120 per person it's one time you pay it for the lifetime. It's about $2 per month for 6 months, with $180 saving 60% scholarship, because the original cost of the program is $300. Because now you're in ecosystems where we have students for all ages, from high school to college, because they have the crazy vision, the crazy ambition, and the wisdom of the professionals, bringing them together to foster new amazing things. And when you go into that link, which is also available in your handout, you will also be able to go to the testimonials and hear the previous experiences of previous students that participated in our program. Now, what I want you to do, it's the smallest investment you will ever make in your life, with your career, and it's worth it. And share that knowledge, share that information with all the people that you care about. And those who don't care about, bring them on board, because they might be able to convince you to create that common denominator, common ground for you to enjoy that life together. Both links of the events coming up are in your handouts. Click them, watch them, go through the details of it, and we look for it. But make sure you don't miss the Meet the Legend, because now you will see what is it exactly, the experience that you will be gaining out of during that day. Now, anybody have any questions, please? Okay, but before we start with that, I want to share with you another poll. Rate the importance of this subject to you, please. Please do all participate, because we try to do our best to help more better in the future events. Okay, 43% 5, 43% 4, 3%, 14%, 3 stars. Good. And I want to have another. Rate this session. Okay, thank you. And rate the speaker. Thank you. I'm humbled. Thank you so much, guys. Now, what I would like you to do at the end, uh, please make sure you don't miss out on the February 22nd, because this is, you will never have that opportunity again with that master. And he is actually recognized as being a legend, one of the two legends in the world, basically speaking. Invite all the people, share the invitation with as many people as you can, because we're doing our best to spread the good word, and to build a better world for all of us. And we cannot do that on our own unless we have something to share with everybody else. I close. Please, please, please stay safe, stay positive, stay productive. And whenever you need help, I am there. The team is there. Our company, the whole group is there to help you, because we want to make sure that you're becoming an exceptional. And we want to make sure that our efforts that we are putting and the hard work that we are dedicating out there on a weekly basis, like this webinar and this session, isn't going to waste. Because when we talk to you, we talk to our future. And with the more of you joining us, now we are more hopeful that the future is going to be much better. Thank you so much. God bless. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.